Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be going over Amazon Polly. So what is Amazon Polly, features of Polly, use cases, and then a quick demo of Polly in the AWS console. So without further ado, let's get started. First of all, what is Amazon Polly? Well, with Amazon Polly, you can take simple text and you can convert it into lifelike speech in a variety of voices and languages, and this allows you to create applications that talk. And this can really open up a bunch of doors and open a ton of new capabilities for your business or application. Now let's hear some example voices that you can use as part of Polly.
You should subscribe to Arif's channel.
If I were you, I would listen to Joey.
I would definitely recommend listening to those two. Now, some of the features of Polly. One very important feature is that it supports many varieties of voices and languages. As of this recording, Polly supports around 70 different voices in over 30 languages across the globe. And this is really useful because you don't have to worry about reaching customers on a global scale. You can just pick the language based on what country the user resides in, and then the rest of the process is handled automatically. Then, Polly audio is very high quality and low latency. I've experienced this myself, and that whenever I pass on something for Polly to use, there is very little latency, just milliseconds of it. And this is really useful because your customers don't want to be waiting. They want that audio as soon as possible. And of course, the audio is going to be high quality as well. Then Amazon Polly is also a cloud-based solution, which allows you to integrate it with other cloud services you may be using, especially on AWS. For example, if you're using Lex to create chatbots for your customers, you could use Amazon Polly and integrate it with Amazon Lex to make a chatbot with a different language or a different voice, and so then you can reach more customers. And finally, you can also integrate SSML with Polly. SSML stands for Speech Synthesis Markup Language, and basically it can help enhance your otherwise bland text. For example, you can add a 2-second break somewhere where you feel like it needs a dramatic pause, or you can change the pitch, rate, or volume of your Polly voice, and this is pretty useful. Now, two of Polly's most famous customers are Duolingo and the Washington Post. In case you haven't heard of Duolingo, it's a website or app that helps learners around the world learn different languages. And of course, this works nicely with Polly because Duolingo can just use a Polly voice in the language that the user is learning. And yeah, that's pretty useful for Duolingo. And then the other one is the Washington Post, which uses Polly voices so that listeners can, instead of reading articles, they can just hear it on different post platforms. So now let me quickly demo Amazon Polly for you. So I'll go ahead and click on Amazon Polly here in the AWS console. And of course, if you don't have Amazon Polly and you're recently visited, you can just search for it in the spacebar up above. Now we're taken to this page, and the first thing we see at the top is Neural versus Standard. And if we look at the descriptions, Standard produces natural sounding speech, while Neural produces the most natural and human-like speech possible. Now, simply put, the difference between the two is that Standard just takes all the different phonemes and just essentially sticks them together, while Neural sort of blends them together, adds a smooth transition between each one so it sounds more human-like. So if possible, I would definitely go with Neural. Now to pick a language, you can see these are all the different languages, and some of them are grayed out because Neural doesn't support them yet, but they'll eventually come out. And now let's stick with, let's say, English British. And now we can pick a voice. So we've got 3 voices for English British: Emma as a female voice, Amy as a female voice, and Brian as a male voice. So let's say we go with Amy. Now, right now, our input text is just, "Hi, my name is Amy. I'll read any text you type here." So let's just listen to what that sounds like.
Hi. My name is Amy. I will read any text you type here.
Okay, so pretty straightforward. Now we can, let's try Brian.
Hi. My name is Brian. I will read any text you type here.
As you can see, it's a different voice, deeper, more masculine, etc. And of course, other than English, there are many more different languages. For example, if we try French, again, I don't take French, so I'm not sure what that means, but we've got Leah, Matthew, and Celine, and it looks like Leah is the only one available for Neural. So if we go with Leah, and we listen.
Salut, je m'appelle Léa. Je vais lire le texte que vous écrirez ici.
And again, the same thing applies for all the other languages on this list. And if we go to standard,
Salut, je m'appelle Léa. Je vais lire le texte que vous écrirez ici.
not a whole lot of noticeable difference, but I guess it's a little bit more straightforward and a little bit clearer. Now, over here, we've got a toggle for SSML, and you can see here it automatically adds the speak tags. So these are necessary for all polytext use. If you're including SSML, you have to have the speak tags. And now let's just try changing something real quick. So now you can find a list of all the SSML tags supported by Amazon Polly in the link that I put in the description. But for now, let me just try a quick one. So if we go with prosody rate equals fast, and then we put a closing tag here, which has the slash prosody. And again, you don't really need to fully understand how this works unless you've had some sort of HTML or CSS class before. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. We're just setting it so that she should speak faster. So let's go back to English British. I'm a female.
Salut, je m'appelle Léa. Je vais lire le texte que vous écrirez ici.
Well, I forgot to switch the text back from French, but as you can see, she played it a lot faster. And let's try like, hello. This is a lot faster.
Hello, this is a lot faster.
Versus if we took away the tags, like so.
Hello, this is a lot faster.
You can clearly tell the difference. And so for prosody rate in particular, I think there's extra slow, slow, normal, fast, and extra fast, if I remember correctly. But yeah, as you can see, there's tons of other things you can do. You can add breaks, you can change voices and stuff. There's a ton of cool stuff you can do with SSML, and I definitely recommend exploring that. And then you can clear text and restore default text here. Here you've got a couple of additional settings. And then if you want to download a Polly audio file just by itself, then you can click download here. You can also save it to S3. And that's pretty straightforward. We've also got lexicons, which you basically use if you're planning on having words or phrases that are unfamiliar. For example, if you have, let's say you have a French name that sounds like very French, but you're using it in the English language, then you might want to add a lexicon so that it sounds more French and it like keeps the accent and all. And really, if you look at the rest of the console, that's about it. Polly is pretty straightforward. You can just pick a language, pick a voice, you can add SSML, and boom, you've got your audio. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video and you go on to use Amazon Polly in your own businesses and applications. If you liked the video, remember to drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.